Mike, thank you for spending time with me this morning. Nice to pick your brain on a few matters. You are, in some ways, a unique individual in real estate. And certainly the guys that know you and told me about you before I'd even met you, they all said the same thing. Michael is progressive. He is cutting edge on all of his social media marketing. He's built a very well-known brand and a name for himself online here in PE. He's going places, he's making waves, he's doing stuff. So you've got a good reputation in the market as being progressive, next generation, and that's what I'd love to be able to bring out and have you talk through with us today. It's been great getting to know you as you've joined the EXP family, and nice seeing you actually begin to bring some agents in and build a team of your own. And then I look forward to seeing you spread your wings in that as well, Mike. Yeah, so let's just start with the beginning. Like, just give us the 2-minute introduction to who Michael Price is.
Yeah, I'll try and break it down shortly, but I was born and bred in Grahamstown. Can you believe it? And had an awesome childhood growing up, because literally all there was to do in Grahamstown was play sport. So that I was mad about sport from a young age, all sports. And from a young age, I always said, I'm going to be a professional cricketer. That's all I ever wanted to do. Finished matric, came to Port Elizabeth and went to the cricket academy. And then I had a career in professional cricket for about 6 years. And then I fell out of love with the game and I stopped and then gave up totally. And then for the next 6 years, I studied. And then I did quantity surveying and construction project management, because that was another side thing I was always passionate about, was building and construction and property. And then in my final year of those studies, I was seeing my mates that I used to play cricket with, and I knew I was better than them back in the day. Obviously, they had a few more years ahead of me now. And I thought to myself, damn, if they can be playing professional cricket, why can't I give it a go again? And had my studies under my belt. So then I carried on playing for another 8 years of professional sport, which was awesome. But when I was coming towards the end of my career, I had to find a way of transitioning into an actual job after that, because I was 34, 35 at the time. And my brother actually has a real estate company in East London, and he's had that for about 14 years now. So we got talking about it. So I actually started transitioning into real estate a year before I retired from cricket. And it was actually the best thing I ever did, because I was passionate about property. We had a property portfolio already. I had my brother to help me out, and my really good friend, Rubay, who was actually my principal for about 5 years. And she taught me a lot. And so that's how I got into real estate. And then last year, I thought to myself, because I'd been building my brand over a period of about 2 years. And I thought to myself, I want to have my own company, but I don't know how to. With all the red tape and everything, I was like, it's impossible. It's going to break me financially and all of the hassle that goes with it. And then by chance, I met with James Conyers. For those of you, I'm sure you probably know who James is by now. And we were having a chat about a property we were selling together. I actually wanted his help because it was a commercial property. And I said to him, if you had your time again, would you have started your own company? And he said to me, maybe yes, maybe no, but I think I would have gone with maybe just 4 good agents, because it's quite hectic. So he said, why? So I said, well, I really want to have my own company, but I'm scared to do it because of all this other stuff. And anyway, it was by chance that this happened. And he said, well, listen here, I've maybe got an opportunity for you. So I said, cool, well, I'm open to anything. Let's discuss it. He said, okay, cool. It's called EXP, and the rest is history. Literally, I didn't even have to think about it. And I was like, this is me down to a T. Everything about it was right for me. And I just had to wait a few months, and then I transitioned over.
Okay, so I want to dig into a little bit of the emotion and the motive behind wanting to have your own business, Mike. What is it about having your own business that was so attractive to you?
I'm not sure what it was, but I think I've always just wanted my own business, because I've never been a person who likes being told what to do, authority. I've always been sort of my own person in my own unique way, and I like to do things my way with a bit of help. And I just felt I was a bit restricted. And at the end of the day, it was also financial. Working for a big corporate, you're giving away a lot of your commission. And I just did the sums so this was July last year. I did the sums for the previous year, and I was like, I can't believe how much money I've actually given away. And that was the big reason why I wanted to start my own company.
Okay, so talk to me about the model of real estate as it has existed for 60 years, where we put an ad in the paper and then we sat a show house on a Sunday. There's obviously been massive change. Technology has just changed the game. And I think some agents and agencies have embraced that, others haven't. You on an individual level, tell us about how you think the market has changed unchangeably and where the opportunities sit in that. Where do you see the thing going, and what have you focused on in your business to make sure that you are taking advantage of the changes rather than becoming a relic?
Yes, absolutely. So I started actually selling. I've been involved in real estate just in my personal capacity for a long time. But when I actually started selling, which was almost 7 years ago, it was just like you said. You put an ad in the newspaper and it comes out on a Friday. I think it was called the Weekend Post or Friday. I don't even know. Friday Post, and one picture of the property. And then you hope that your phone rings. I can't even remember. I think there was probably 24 in private property, but even websites were they were never going to get traction. And so about 3 years, I think it was about 3.5 years later, I thought there's got to be a better way of doing this, because I'm always trying to think of better ways to help myself and my clients as well. And I got searching and I came across Tom Ferry. I don't know if anybody knows who Tom Ferry is. For those of you who don't, he's the #1 real estate coach in the world and has won multiple awards. Anyway, I looked into that and I signed up with him to get one-on-one coaching with him. And I've been a part of his community for the last 3.5 years. And that changed my whole business, my whole mindset, my whole business, the way I did things. And my big thing was I hated cold calling, absolutely hated it. And so I said to my coach, or to Tom Ferry, what I want leads to phone me. I don't want to have to phone them. So they said, okay, great. What you need to do is you need to build a massive social media following, and you need to get, progressive, like you said earlier. And so anyway, that's what I did. So for a period of the last 3.5 years, I've been building my social media platform, learning how to run ads, learning what people want, learning how to nurture people, like the funnel, your hot, medium, cold, or cold, medium, hot clients. And through doing all of that, it literally had changed my business. And for the last 1.5 years, I've never had to do any prospecting. People call me because social media is all about getting people to like, know, and trust you. People I've never even met before come up to me and say, oh my gosh, I love what you do. And I'm like, that's great. Thank you so much. Who are you? And anyway, they've been following me for 1.5 years or 2 years. And when it's time to sell, they go, you are the guy I want to come and sell my house. Also, because I started something through the Tom Ferry, I was one of the first people in PE to do like home of the day video tours. And nobody was doing that in Port Elizabeth. And I started doing those. And I incorporated a whole lot of different things, me in the videos talking, a couple of old classic cars. And it was all about exposure and getting the home sold. And then I would post that all over social media, ads targeting everybody to get people to see what I'm doing. And because of that, people know what I do. And the ones that like, know, and trust me because of my social media are the ones that give me calls to come and sell their homes.
Okay, so I'm an estate agent. I'm hearing Michael Price. It sounds pretty good to me. But I'm terrified of video. And I am clueless when it comes to placing paid advertising online. Those are two huge barriers for a lot of agents. How did you overcome those two barriers? Did they come naturally to you shooting video? Has someone taught you how to do paid advertising? Just talk us more through that so that somebody watching this might just be nudged by you along the line to say, "Okay, maybe I could look at doing more video and more paid advertising."
Yeah, without a doubt, if you are not on video or not going to progress onto video, you are going to be dead in the water in a few years. Through being part of the Tom Ferry story, America is literally 2 years ahead of us with everything. And it is massive. They have said, and they've done research, that without video, you're going to be dead in the water. So it's not always easy, but you've got to learn to be uncomfortable. If you're not going to be uncomfortable, you're never going to grow. Believe me, I didn't enjoy being on camera at all. Even though I had a taste of it when I was playing professional sport with interviews and that, I still didn't enjoy it. And eventually my coach just said, listen here, we were having actually a webinar at the time. And he said, okay, right now you are going to shoot some videos in front of me and you're just going to post them. Doesn't matter how rubbish they are. Anyway, and that's what I did. And just from that, it sort of progressed. And I'm still not 100% loving being on video, but it's something one has to do. And the more you do it, the more comfortable you get. It doesn't have to be professionally done. I promise you, we've moved back to the stage where people want authenticity and they want to see that you are human just like them. It's not about these very professional ones. There's a time and a place for the professional ones, but they want to see the authenticity and you just speaking from the heart and your experiences. So just read an article, learn about it, and talk about it on the video. That's just for educational side. And then obviously there's Reels for any of you, or TikTok for those of you that don't know. And it's also about being humorous, but it depends on your personality. If you're not a funny person, don't try and be funny. If you're not a happy person, don't all of a sudden be over the top. People want to know the authentic you. And a very true thing, which Tom Ferry says, I know I refer to him a lot, but your vibe attracts your tribe. So whatever you portray, those are the people that are going to want to do business with you. So they don't want to see this wild person on camera and then they come and meet you and then you all, hi, how are you type story. So be you and your tribe will be attracted to you. Simple as that. Nothing fancy.
Okay, so just talk to us on the paid advertising side as well, because that, I mean, you can just pour money into Facebook ads and Google ads and not see much return. Help us with that.
Yeah, so if you don't know what you're doing, you can just literally throw money into the bin. So fortunately, my coach was a social media expert, and he actually runs a few of his own agencies in New Zealand. So he'd been doing it for a long time. So he would show me how to do it and set it up. And then from that, I just learned how to do it. And I've learned how to do it, the tricks of the trade, how to not waste money, what platforms to run ads on, because everybody just thinks, oh, run on Facebook. But there are lots of great options for running ads where there's not a lot of competition. So your ad spend is actually quite low. Whereas Facebook is starting to get expensive, YouTube's starting to get expensive. But yeah, I learned all of that from him. And I'm always looking for new ways to get better at it because there always are. And there's so many people that offer awesome advice with it. And that's something I want to teach agents as well, social media and paid advertising, because it's only going to benefit those agents. And I want the industry to start getting a better name because it's had a bad name for far too long.
Okay, so chicken or the egg dilemma, catch 22. I'm struggling as an agent. I know there's this whole new world. I've got to move into it, but I don't know what to do. And the answer, as I'm listening to Michael Price speak, is I need someone to help me. I need a course or I need a coach. But, it's a lot of money. It's an investment. So talk to me about how you've approached investing in yourself. Because getting a Mike Ferry coach can't be cheap.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know it is damn expensive and it's dollar based. So when our rand is not good, it's even more expensive. But you know what? 3 years ago, I thought to myself, I can carry on doing exactly what I'm doing, sell, I don't know how many homes, 10, 15 homes a year, and just be a very average agent. And I wasn't comfortable with that. I've always been very competitive. I think it's probably the sporting background and family. And I thought I need to be a better agent. So I'm going to invest money in myself. And that's exactly what I did. So I've never been scared to invest money in myself because I know it's only going to benefit me in the long run. And I know with what I've invested in myself, especially with being a part of the Tom Ferry coaching system, it's paid itself off 10, 20 times already. And I didn't want to be an average agent. And I'm always looking for ways, even right now, I'm always looking for ways to become better at what I do so that I can offer a better client experience. I can get my sellers the highest price possible in the shortest possible time, and therefore securing sole mandates majority of the time. I spend a lot of money doing the home of the day videos, all my paid social media advertising for my homes that I sell. So I invest a lot of money in it, and it has paid itself off immensely. And at the end of the day, your client is extremely happy, and that is the most important thing that I get out of all of it.
Okay, cool. So you joined EXP, what, about a year ago, just less than a year ago. On the sales side, how are the EXP systems? You are quite tech savvy. Like, what's the experience of being a selling agent at EXP, and then maybe talk about the split and that side of thing as well.
Yeah, so the platforms that we have at EXP are absolutely incredible, cutting edge. And what's really awesome is our rep program, so that you load the property once and it automatically lists through to private property 24. And then obviously with your team, Steve, we get the Gumtree option, which is a very underutilized platform, actually. I've had one or two already come from Gumtree, sales of mine, which is absolutely awesome. And a lot of people don't know this. It is going absolutely amazing, I must be honest.
Okay, so the compensation model of EXP, what do you think about it?
I think the compensation model is incredible. I mean, seriously, now, most agents aren't even on a 71-29 split at any of their companies. A lot are on 50-50, and then quite a few on 60-40. I think if you're a very lucky agent, or maybe a very experienced agent, and you're bigger companies, maybe you'll be on a 70-30. And then obviously, once you've capped, it's 96%. So it is absolutely incredible. And what I really love about the EXP model is the fact that it's not a principal sitting at the top of a big company that is getting all the revenue from the whole company and then not dispersing it. Whereas EXP, the money comes in and they love to give a big portion of it back to the people that are actually doing the business for them, which is us agents. And that is what the majority of agents actually want, to be compensated for the hard work they do, because without the agents, there also wouldn't be a company.
So one of the things I love most about EXP is that the compensation model for an agent just working as an agent is so good, as you've said, 71%. Then when you cap, you keep 96% of your commission. Plus, we haven't even talked about the stock awards. You're given shares in the business for doing what you're doing already. That standalone is so good that it then makes sense, or I can do it with a clear conscience to tell other agents about EXP, or at least say to them, look, you need to look at this model. It's not like I'm trying to sell them some overpriced US dollar toothpaste that I want them to buy so that I can make money. It's genuinely good for agents, or for most agents, let's put it that way. And so it does then make the agent attraction side of EXP's opportunity something that you can do with integrity. I guess that is how you feel, but just talk us through your thoughts about that other side of the opportunity of building your own team, and why you'd want to do that.
Yeah, so what's amazing about EXP is the fact that you are just going out, doing what you're doing every day, selling property. And at the same time, you're getting a better commission split. And at the same time, you get the options of free shares within EXP. What company gives you free shares? I mean, yeah, anyway, let's not get onto that. No company is going to give you free shares. Then there's the revenue sharing model. And for me, it's you just going about your day-to-day business. So when I see agents, let's say they bring a buyer to my listing, and we'll get chatting and they'll say, how's EXP? And I'll say, well, it's amazing. It's this, this, this. And just by talking to agents, they are naturally going to ask you, how is EXP? Why is EXP good? Why did you go across to EXP? And it's just about talking openly about it to them. And then if they are even remotely interested, which they will be after you've discussed just some of the simple things about the revenue share, the shares, and the commission split, they're automatically going to be, their interest is going to be piqued. And so that's how you just start the conversation with it. So it is, you're just going about your day-to-day business, and you will naturally attract agents, even if you only came into EXP for the commission sharing.
Okay, so just two last questions, Mark. Thanks, and I appreciate your time. So the last question is going to be about what you see in the future. Where's this all going for you? What's kind of your goal for the business? But before we get to that, I just want you to comment on the community. So you're in Port Elizabeth, and there's obviously a strong community of EXP agents there. There's something about EXP's model that creates collaborative community. And it's different to a normal real estate business, because none of us are each other's bosses. We're all independent business owners, and yet we're kind of all on the same ship, sailing, pioneering this thing, going on this incredible adventure together. And it somehow binds agents together. So, because that may be a fear of agents. Say, when I join EXP, it's a cloud-based business. There's no offices, although I know James is got something planned in PE for you guys. But the fear is that I'm going to get isolated. And actually, I think a lot of agents experience, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but in my experience, it's been that they say that the opposite is true. They come into this unbelievably collaborative environment where there isn't this kind of backbiting, no, it's my listing, no, it was my client, and that whole thing that happens in local real estate offices. It just doesn't happen at EXP. So what is your experience of the community of this company been like?
It's been incredible. It really has. And I actually was meant to mention that earlier, and then I got sidetracked. But it's exactly what you've just said. Everybody in EXP is rooting for each other. And there isn't that backstabbing and no, it's my listing, no, it's this, no, it's that. Everybody is trying to work together for a common goal. And I think it is absolutely incredible, whether it's the various WhatsApp groups, whether it's your actual groups within your city. So obviously James has set up a group here in Port Elizabeth, and there's no, why are you asking me this question? It's, I'm so happy to be able to help you, because we're all aiming for the same end goal, and that is to help each other get better and grow our businesses.
Yeah, Mike, and I want to make a prediction that I think I started off with this thought that I think you have leadership gifts that you probably don't even appreciate yet. And I know that at the moment you're looking at creating systems and resources to help a team, to make available to a growing team. But there is something that you have in person, in the flesh, that is almost unquantifiable, that does carry an aura of leadership about it, Mike. And I want to predict that when you have a growing team, and I think you are going to have a growing team, you will end up with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of agents in your revenue share group. You are going to be able to spread your wings in the form of leadership and encouragement and coaching and little words of encouragement and being able to come into people's specific situations through personal interactions, even in sort of unprompted settings, and be able to give them a word of advice or point them in the right direction or just encourage them in a certain thing. You'll be able to bring people together and give them a sense of safety. I mean, that's part of what leaders do, is they make people feel safe. They make people feel like we're going in the right direction. And I think you've got all of that in seed form in you. And I think a lot of what you've learned in the past through your sporting career will suddenly start bearing fruit, and you don't even know that it's in there. So I do predict you're going to be a big leader in this business. I appreciate you, and I look forward to taking that journey together with you.
Awesome, Steve. It's been wonderful. Thank you so much.